ready!
Hello everybody, I'm Derby and welcome to part 12 of Final Fantasy XIII Randomizer. Let's get to it. The next sea stone is not far up ahead. And the enemy that we have to fight is a little bit ways up and not too far. It's back at the beginning of this area where we fought that one sea stone mission. It's around there, really. This guy, if you choose to fight this guy, and get this treasure spear up here, just make sure to use a couple buffs on your characters. Aggression, try disaster, heal, because he can do a lot of damage as well. There is a treasure spear over here, but I wasn't quite paying attention, and I thought it was there. I wasn't like 100% sure if it was there or not. So I did find it later. So yeah, so about the same area where we fought that one sea stone mission. Go around here, over here. Couple enemies over here that you can fight. They're not too horrible to deal with. However, that same bird that I just fought earlier is right up here. And I was trying to get around him, but I couldn't. I ran into him instead. There's a treasure spear over there to the left, but I'm going to get that as soon as we're done with this mission. But yeah, the same routine. Just buff your characters and aggression, try disaster, aggression. So over here, if you want to use one of those invisibility shrouds, I would, because it'll definitely help. And then try disaster. Yeah, start off with try disaster to get them into a just get a stagger, and then aggression to do some damage. Yeah, you could, I was about to say, you can do some buffs, some debuffs on them, which will definitely help. Impale. Impale is always helpful, always. And then go into an aggression, and just keep getting him until stagger runs out. Stay in aggression until you get, at least do 1 or 2 hits with a commando lightning. And then, yeah, I figured, why not? Use haste. I probably wouldn't use haste because it does take up a little bit of time, but I figured it could be a little bit helpful. And then just put him back into a stagger.
Deal with this.
Yeah, if you switch just in time, as soon as the stagger's about to hit, you switch to aggression. The stagger will still hit, and then you'll be able to get into your attacks real quickly. And then we got digital circuits for upgrading weapons. Sprockets. Just straight ahead, you don't have to worry about that behemoth over there. There's nothing over there. But straight ahead, there's a couple imps that you can fight. And they'll have, there's a treasure spear over there that you can get. Yeah, I want to switch that back real quick. I'll do that. I'll switch my paragons back and forth. So that way, if I need them for a certain fight, then I'm all set up. A lot of times I do forget, though. Torn leather. More upgrading items. Components, I guess you call them. So I forget if I do any more sea stone missions. I kind of forgot if I had done that or not, and yeah, it was like one of the first stones that I came here after fighting that one guy. I do think I did the behemoth one coming up here because that's a teleport stone as well. So yeah, chances are I did do that one. So that way I could teleport over to that area if I needed to. But just gotta make our way back to the central part of Grand Pulse. Now, yeah, did I do the sea stone? I did. Okay, yeah. This was actually the next one I did do. This was one of the ones that I could not 5-star. And I kind of forgot what the requirements were for 5-starring that one. But it's one of those dancing birds, infamous, I think his name was, or something like that. But what I did was, I believe I used one of the invisibility shrouds. And then, I believe I did some buffs. And I think that's where I messed up. I was more focused on buffing, like putting on haste, than anything else. And then the try-disaster, aggression, try-disaster, aggression. But yeah, this is where that mark is. Yeah, so I think where I messed up was I was focused on putting on haste. Yeah, any Aga spells, like Fiagra. If you have Fiagra, I would probably use that because that should be at the top. But yeah, basically any Aga spells are at the top, which will help out a lot.
Change of plan.
But yeah, just do a preemptive strike. Go and try disaster, aggression, and then probably back to try disaster, and then aggression again. Yep. I think I focused on debuffing. It was debuffing I was focusing on. Plus, I think another thing that would have probably helped out a lot is if I was a lot stronger too. Yeah, it was debuffing I was more focused on than buffing. I should have just got him without trying to debuff him. But I kind of knew at this point in the fight that I was taking too long and that I was not going to 5-star it. Yeah, I didn't even get a 1-star. But like I said, I was more focused to see what the random item was. So after the fight, you can actually go back to this teleport stone back here. And then that one teleport stone, or that one sea stone that we just did earlier, that was actually a teleport stone too. I forgot about that one. But yeah, you can actually just go back to this area over here and then teleport back to the stone that we just did. instead of having to go all the way. And it is a lot faster. I did test it. It is definitely a lot faster. And then this next stone that I did up here is another teleport stone. So I know I did that one so I could teleport if I needed to. I definitely, at that time of doing this, I definitely was not going to do all the missions right now anyways. I was not going to do like a good majority of them because I had to really focus on leveling up my characters before I can even think about doing much more. I think it was one of the red sea stones that I did. Like the one where you unlock the chocobos. I think that one I was struggling with, and then at that point I was like, nah, I'll focus on it later. In the original version of this, I can do all the way up until we get the chocobos before heading over to the tower. That's because I was trying at a couple years ago. I was trying to see if I could do a run to where I can get the growth egg before going to the tower. So that way I'd have the growth egg once at the tower. But yeah, with this one, just use like an invisibility shroud. Try disaster. Yeah, like I said, I probably wouldn't really focus on using haste. That was my biggest problem. This one, I believe I did 5-star though. But I had Saz actually as a commando, so we weren't going to lose that gauge at all.
Deal with this.
Yeah, I really wouldn't worry about using haste too much.
Be ready for the next fight.
Yeah, I did 5-star this one. And we got a star pendant. And shattered bones. So I think the next one I was heading to was the one where we can unlock the chocobos. But that's the one where I was having problems with. And I decided to say I'll come back to it later. Which I never did, because then at that point I decided that I was doing Seastone mission, like a Seastone mission guide anyways. So I would focus on that later, especially when I got everything that I needed and weapons upgraded and all that. There are ways to do this without really upgrading too much. Speedrunners do it, but I don't know exactly what the strats are. I knew about the first few fights with the strats and everything, like how to exactly go around that first enemy that we fought, the first mark that we fought. But it was good I came over here anyways, because number one, this is on the way to the tower, and number two, there are a couple of spears that we can get here. That one I could not get to, that one treasure spear, because you do need a chocobo for that one. But I figured I'd do the Crysterium, get some abilities here. Got 2 of them with Saz. And yeah, that was it. So yeah, I couldn't defeat him at all, so I just decided, yeah, later. But we got the treasure spears here. That's a weapon for Fang. And then components for upgrading. So at this point, I just decided to head towards like the tower area.
What is this?
Yeah, that one you need a chocobo for, so I couldn't get to that one. Because you need to do the redstone in order to unlock the area for the chocobos. And then you gotta do a mission called Flock of the Light, Flock something, in order to unlock the chocobos to ride. Power wristband. Now, these two guys, you could probably fight if you want to, because they'll be more focused on each other anyways. I just kept going, but they do drop good experience. So there, I would definitely focus on doing buffing, try disaster, aggression. I would focus on the behemoth first, and then the other guy second. Because the behemoth does do a lot of damage. However, you know, they both will be focused on each other, but at some point the behemoth will start to notice that you're there, and then he'll start doing damage to the characters, even though he is fighting the other guy at the same time. So just focus on healing. Worry about buffing first, then healing, and then you should be alright. So up here are these,
Keep an eye on the shadows.
this one enemy, he's called a box something. It's not here, but it's up ahead. Those guys will be in that fight as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and explain this now. As soon as you get into that fight, and that's a weapon for Vanille, but as soon as you get into that fight, you want to focus on the box guy first. Because if you focus on the other characters, or on the other enemies, then each time you kill him, the box guy will summon more and more and more and more, and it's endless as well. So you have to focus on the box guy first. Here we go. And then also use like an invisibility shroud. At least have two, because I think you fight him twice. But yeah, you can probably do haste at the beginning here, and you probably do a little bit of debuffing as well. But make sure when you're doing debuffing, sometimes it'll go off to another enemy. So if you're doing debuffing, make sure it's still on the box. And then when you switch, make sure you're always on the box enemy.
New strategy. Out of my way.
See it there? When I was doing the impale, it went to the other enemies instead. But then I immediately focused onto the box one. And they will do damage, like, as you see, Hope is pretty much in big trouble here. Try to keep him healed, or keep all the characters healed as much as possible. Because these guys will do, like, hit after hit after hit, and they do it constantly. So, you just gotta keep an eye on everybody's health. I think I did, however, wipe out. Yeah, I did wipe out the other enemies in the process of trying to focus on the box one. But he was airborne and distracted the whole time, so he didn't have time to summon anything. But always, always, always focus on him first.
A little discretion never hurt nobody.
I think I upgraded, yes, I upgraded Hope's accessories and weapons. Because he was the one that was taking the most damage out of that fight. So I wanted to make sure that he had enough buffs. Also, at this point, do focus on Vanille and Fang as well, because they'll be coming up here soon with Vanille's Eidolon. So make sure you keep up with that too. Like I said, any accessories, it'll just be Vanille and Fang. So if you want to take off Lightning's accessories and put them on either or, Royal Amulet, which I sold. Snow, Hope, take off their accessories and put them on Vanille and Fang, then I would do that. And this is a fight where I would use Shrouds. I did not know you could use Shrouds, but yeah, you can, I guess. But that'll be coming up here quickly, I think. I'm not sure if I had to fight another one of those box guys or not.
That thing sure gets around, doesn't it?
But yeah, just make sure that the weapons are pretty much high. I would say somewhere in the teens. With all these characters, except for maybe Snow, because you really don't need Snow unless you want to use Snow. But, you know, I would probably make sure that all the, and that's weapon for Saz. That all these characters are, their weapons are pretty much in the teen areas. We can't go that way. We have to wait till later before we can go that way. But the only thing over there anyways is a couple of sea stone missions. Yeah, I did have to fight another one of those box guys. So same routine. But this time I did use an invisibility shroud. And just focus on the box first.
Out of my way!
Yeah, you guys know how this fight goes. Yeah, I wanted to at least get some kind of debuffing on him so I could try to finish him off quickly. As you see, I don't have haste because I was trying to get rid of him as quickly as possible. I'm not sure if I had to use Odin here or not. That's another thing. When in doubt, use Eidolon. But as long as I believe as long as everybody's health is pretty much okay, nobody's in deep trouble, then I didn't really focus on using any Eidolons.
Change of plan. Nothing personal.
Nah, because at this point, these guys, once they're by themselves, there should be no issue. Actually, I think aggression probably works the best on these guys, really, if I remember correctly.
Keep the enemy off balance.
Yeah, I would say it was aggression. Alright, so Vanille's Eidolon should be coming up here in a second.
Not go well.
And we got more components for upgrading. Yep, I figured. Okay. So here I would use like shrouds. Can't use the invisibility one because it's a fight and that's kinda, I guess you could say, forced. So yeah, as you've seen, I put new equipment on Vanille. And then did the Crush Serum. Got raised with Fang. Boom. He Protecta. So yeah, it was the same equipment that I used with the Bahamut fight on Fang, so that's why I didn't show that off. But yeah, it's the same equipment that I was using. Yeah, I only use NSL here because I really didn't have enough to use both shrouds, so I just use NSL and then pretty much, you know, use all your basic attack moves between Ravager, Saboteur, and then you keep Fang in a Sentinel, so that way the Eidolon can be more focused on her. And yeah, even though you can't really debuff him, I don't think. I mean, I did with Saz's Eidolon, but even though you can't really debuff per se, it does, as you've seen, the gauge does go up while using it.
No time to panic.
And just make sure that Vanilla and Fang are pretty much healed. Now, if Fang would have fell, and he was close to being done, I would have just let Fang fail and then try to take him out as quickly as possible. Because if he's that close, then yeah, it should be alright. Yeah, it's good that if he focuses on Fang, that way Camille can do whatever she needs to do. And that is our last Eidolon. So it should put you back in your original party that you had. Just put on I just put on Hope's accessories. Yeah, don't forget to take off, like if Vanille's not in your party, just take off the accessories and put them back on the character that you originally had them on. Sometimes I do forget, so that's why I mention it. And now we are one step closer to reaching the tower.
This isn't easy, is it?
Yeah, unfortunately, if you want that, you do have to fight those guys. Same thing, just stick and try disaster, and you should be alright. And then aggression, just take out the bombs as quickly as possible. That enemy up there, do not fight him, because guaranteed there's no way to beat him. I couldn't even beat him at this point. I tried it. I did try it in this run, but I couldn't do it. So that's it for part 12 of Final Fantasy XIII Randomizer. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.